morning. You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a podcast brought to you by Joy's House. We are so blessed and thrilled that you're here. And just in case you don't know, Caregiver Crossing is a podcast that was created just for you, the caregiver. I'm Tina McIntosh.
I'm Terry Stacy, and we're here every week with experts from across the country hope to be providing you some comfort and resources and joy for you, the caregiver. Podcast serves to embrace family caregivers of today and tomorrow. And we thank you all so much for being here.
Well, I'm happy to share with you that today we're joined by the owner and founder of the Memory Compass. Her name is Jessie Hillock, and she is definitely an innovator. She is a licensed speech and language pathologist and dementia care specialist. And I just want you to think about that for a second. A licensed speech and language pathologist and a dementia care specialist is a great combination. So Jessie, welcome to Caregiver Crossing.
Hello. Thank you, ladies.
I know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Tina, you go ahead.
No, it's okay. We just got a lot to cover in a time. So that will not be the last time Terry and I jump on each other. But Jessie, if you can tell us a little bit about what the Memory Compass is.
Yes. So the Memory Compass provides in-home outpatient therapy services for individuals living across central Indiana, specifically individuals with mild cognitive impairment, dementia, or Alzheimer's. And then we also provide dementia family coaching and consulting services for families across Indiana and actually across the U.S.
And what led you in this direction? You're the founder. So was there a moment in time that you said, this is what we need to do? How did this all begin?
Well, I worked in skilled nursing for about 6.5 years. And a lot of people don't know in skilled nursing that if your loved one either moves into assisted living or memory care, or maybe they go into skilled nursing for rehab following maybe breaking a hip or a shoulder, if they're demonstrating any forms of confusion, difficulty following directions, difficulty with medication management, financial management, safety, then they automatically get referred to a speech language pathologist, because we don't just work on voice or swallowing, but we also work on cognition. And I was seeing countless families. I've given over 1,000 cognitive assessments, but what I was hearing from families was that, my loved one maybe received a diagnosis, but the neurologist just said, see you back in a year. And then it became, they needed an increased level of care, and they had a fall, had that rehab experience, or they needed an increased level of care. So they moved into the facility. And I was the one who was also doing a lot of counseling with the family. I was explaining to them, okay, your neurologist says your loved one has middle stage dementia, but what in the world does that mean with their daily function within the home? And so I was doing a lot of education, a lot of counseling, a lot of support. And I just felt like, there's not anything like this in the area that families get to receive before needing this increased level of care. And I felt like there's something wrong with that. And I wanted to do what I could to change that. So I started it back in April of 2019.
And it being the Memory Compass is the business that Jessie has. It's fantastic service. And, give us kind of a look into what one of those coaching sessions might look like, a practical look, because I think we as listeners, we hear things like, oh, it's a coaching service and, dementia specialist. And those words all sound really good and enticing to us, but we don't know what that really means.
Right.
Can you maybe give us a snapshot into that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm so used to working with individuals in their natural home environment. And I feel like a lot of other specialists, like your neurologist or other healthcare providers, they only see you when you're in the office. They don't see the daily functional breakdown. So I like to do an intake with the family to really pinpoint where their loved one is in the disease process, to be able to help them with, okay, are we having difficulty with consuming meals? Like, has there been a weight loss? Are we having difficulty with kind of resistance to wanting to shower? Are they forgetting to take their medications? I'm trying to pinpoint where they are and help families put individualized systems in place. Because I've had so much experience with working in someone's functional living environment that I'm able to transfer that to the home. And sometimes, of course, with this disease, things can be trial and error, but I'm trying to give them their own individualized recommendations. And then we continue to work on it. Okay, that wasn't working. Let's put something else in place. And also, what are we looking for as the disease progresses? And what are resources in the area to have in place now to try to support you as much as possible and hopefully prevent that crisis situation from happening?
Is there I'm not sure that there's a perfect time, but time-wise, when would you want to seek someone like you for help?
That's a good question, Terry. Families, sometimes I'll hear, I think it's either too soon or I think we're too far gone. And I have experience, whether they're recently diagnosed, or whether we're in the late stage and they're having difficulty with swallowing, because I'm also a speech language pathologist, and that is something that I heavily work on as the disease progresses. But there really is no perfect time. I truly feel like I can support families no matter where they are on this process. But I would say, if you're already feeling something that you need support with, it never hurts to contact somebody sooner rather than later.
Well, I mean, the reality is somebody can go through an assessment with you, get all the paperwork and the groundwork laid. And then if things change and they don't need you right now, but in 3 years they do, at least you've got that in place. I think a lot of times what happens in healthcare, particularly with aging adults, is we wait until we're in crisis to look for the service. And then we wonder why we feel like we're losing our minds and we're losing hope. And so, I would encourage people to get in touch with Jessie at the Memory Compass and lay that groundwork now. You may never need her service, but there's also a good chance that you will. I know we've got maybe one more question left in us, but before that, Jessie, how do we get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can contact, you can reach out to my website. My website is www.thememorycompass.com. I have an email on there, and then also my phone number if people want to reach out to me that way. So the business phone number is 317-501-7424.
Okay, we will make sure to get that information out there. But before we do close, any last words for anybody that needs your help right now, or anything that you want us to know about your work and what you're doing?
I just want people to know that the Memory Compass is really there to help support where the medical system is kind of lacking right now. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that I am very familiar with the medical system. So I know the ins and outs of things that maybe you should be advocating for, that people just don't know they should be advocating for.
Hey, listen, I think we rely so heavily on the medical system and on government and think they're supposed to fix all of the problems of all of the things in all of the world. And it's just not reality. That's why that's why not-for-profit businesses were created. So I really appreciate the gap that you are helping to close. Again, if you want to get in touch with Jessie, and I hope you do, it's thememorycompass.com, phone number 317-501-7424. And of course, you'll have a link on Caregiver Crossing as well. But Jessie, I just thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for being here with us today too.
Thank you so much. And thank you for everything that you guys are doing as well.
Well, as we close the show, we just want to remind everybody, all of you that are listening, that you can contact Tina McIntosh for more information and a whole lot of resources to help you through this journey of caregiving. You can find her at tina@joyshouse.org. And we have a lot of good people to thank before we say goodbye, Tina.
Yeah, Caregiver Crossing, supported by AARP, our dear friends there. They're leading a revolution in the way people view and live life after 50. We love that they're working to empower people to choose how they get to live as they age. And we're also supported by our friends at American Village. They've been lifelong friends of Joy's House. They are a senior living community right here in Indianapolis, right close to our Broad Ripple location. And they offer a full continuum of senior housing and healthcare solutions designed to accommodate a variety of lifestyle choices and healthcare needs. And so we're grateful to them for sponsoring Joy's House and Caregiver Crossing. So thank you so much for being here, and we will see you again next week.